Welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev. Happy New Year, Des Bryant. Happy 2015. Man, we missed you guys. It seems like it's been forever, Kev.
It's been a minute.
Man, but hey, what better way to open up the new year than review the film Selma? So that's what we're going to do for you today. This film is rated PG-13, has a runtime of 2 hours and 8 minutes. This is a drama. I guess you could kind of say biopic, Kev.
We'll get into it.
We'll dive into that a little bit more. But in this film, we take a look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s journey during his time in Selma and his campaign for equal voting rights, as well as the march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama in 1965.
And
Yes, Kev.
last I looked, and I looked it up, it's about 40 degrees in Selma, Alabama at this time with a high of maybe around 50 or 60. What's with the hat?
So this is how we gonna kick the new year off? We gonna go. Look, man, y'all know I have a bald head. For those of you that are bald, sometimes your head gets a little chilly, so I might wanna, wear a little something. You still have
A modicum of hair, a little bit of hair, less and less every day.
Well, that's
but you don't
something.
see me with a cap on.
So raise up off me and my head. How about that?
All right. Back to Selma. This movie was ably directed by Ava DuVernay in her directorial debut, and Baby Girl does an outstanding job. There is a strong cast in this film, beginning with David Oyelowo, who plays Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Carmen Ejogo, who plays Coretta Scott King, Tim Roth, Giovanni Ribisi, Tom Wilkinson, Andre Holland, Carmen, Oprah has a small role in this, Wendell Pierce. The list kind of goes on and on.
Yeah.
So, you ready to get into this, chop it up a little bit?
Hey, man, let's do what we do.
All right. We're talking about the 1960s, a very volatile period in American history, which is often punctuated by the civil rights movement, the civil rights era. And Ava DuVernay does a spectacular job of taking us back to this period in time and this period in history. I view this film as more of a slice of American history presented to us on film than I do a biopic. This is not Martin Luther King Jr.'s life from beginning to end. This is a slice, a chapter in the life of American history that he happens to be at the core of. And Ava does an incredible job of displaying this for us and bringing it to our consciousness.
Hey, couldn't agree more, Kev. Kev knows how I feel about these period pieces that are dealing with slavery and, the racial struggle.
Y'all remember 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah. So, needless to say, I was very, very salty without the popcorn going into this film. But I have to admit, I was dead wrong. This film is phenomenal. I really, really love this film. And the number one thing that I have to say that really drove it home for me was that finally we get to see a human depiction of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Not Superman.
Yes.
Okay. Not a superhero. He is human. He is a man like you and I, and he is subject to many of the same frailties that we are subject to. In depicting Dr. King's historic march from Selma to the courthouse in Montgomery, Alabama, there are moments of astounding magnitude in this film. And we could talk about the Bloody Sunday episode that really illustrates the first attempt to march from Selma to Montgomery, to the repercussions of joining this movement that many white sympathizers had to undergo, coming from all over the country and all over the world to join in this march. They were met with violence in a lot of cases. The way this film starts, Anthony.
Oh man, there are very, very powerful scenes throughout this film. I can't say any more about it because I don't want to give it away. Y'all got to see it for yourself. But just trust me and Kev on this. Scenes that brought me to almost tears multiple times throughout. And I just have to say, Ava DuVernay, wow, man, she just nailed it on all fronts.
Right.
The visual, the imagery, the director of cinematography. What's the gentleman's name?
Bradford Young is the director of cinematography, and he's only got a couple of credits to his name, but he knows how to light and shoot people of color and make us look the way we are supposed to look on the big screen.
Not ashy and not greasy. All right.
No, not at all. I mean, he makes us look beautiful and the way we're supposed to look, and I appreciate his work on this.
Absolutely, absolutely. The cast, outstanding. One of the best casts I've seen in a while. In particular, I have to say something about Carmen Ejogo. Wow, multiple times I caught myself. I was like rubbing my eyes because I thought I was looking at Coretta Scott King.
Is that Coretta? That's Coretta, ain't it?
No, for real. I mean, and you will feel that. But outstanding cast. I mean, there's so many. I can't mention everybody, but it was wonderfully done.
Right. And Anthony and I, we joke about this, but the British invasion is very evident in this film as well. Some of the great performances come from British actors such as Tim Roth and Tom Wilkinson, who played George Wallace, the governor of Alabama, and
David and Carmen.
David and Carmen both are British, and Tim Wilkinson plays LBJ. Very well. On top of that, so I don't know what's going on, America. You need to catch up. We need to catch up. Man, this movie was outstanding. David Oyelowo makes as MLK. He makes a comment in this film at the end of one of his followers being killed. During a very nonviolent protest, that God was the first to cry. And if God was the first to cry, I was second, because that is how powerfully moving this film is.
No, absolutely. And, we talked about the humanization of Dr. King. Another thing that by Ava doing that, what rises to the surface is that you see this person that's no different than any of us, that's capable of doing extraordinary things. Absolutely. Now, for me, that was inspirational, and put things into a different perspective. Even just how we look at life, purpose, right? We all have a purpose, and I think everybody should see this film, but especially our young people today that feel like are walking around with no purpose.
And for them, the civil rights movement and the sacrifices of people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., to them that is so far removed from where they are today, they don't realize really just how recent that really was
50 years
in
ago.
The scope of American history, and how relevant it is to their lives today, and also where they're trying to get to. And while I'm thinking about it, quick shout out needs to go out to the brother who played Malcolm X as well.
Yes.
Because that was Malcolm X there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
And this was a powerful movie, outstanding movie. I can't do anything. I have to give it a 9. I give this movie a 9. Not perfect, but very few things are. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. For me, this film is inspirational. It's empowering. We get a look at a year in our American history. Notice I said American history, not Black history.
Right.
And again, Ava does an excellent job. This film does an excellent job of humanizing Dr. King in a way that I've never ever seen done before. I give this film a 10 out of 10. Ava DuVernay, I will see you at the Oscars, baby.
No doubt, no doubt.
Best director, you need to be in that category.
Yeah, she's part of that conversation, and if she's not, then there was certainly a crime. Thankfully, the Golden Globes have seen to it that they have recognized her work. Hopefully, the Oscars do as well.
All right. Hey, y'all, that is our show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. And subscribe to our channel, Kev. Hey, y'all, we make mistakes
rusty.
too.
We rusty.
All right, we're just shaking it off for 2015, but it's all good.
Follow us at the Movie Brothers on Twitter. Okay.
Yes, absolutely, and subscribe to this channel and tell a friend. Y'all watching the show and you just hoarding it all the good stuff for yourself. Tell your friends about this show and what we're doing and how we do it. I'm Ant. This is Kev. We are the Movie Brothers. This is the place, the one and only place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.